Welcome everybody. My name is Leslie Alba. I'm the Senior Gold Ambassador, and this is Catherine Smith, Kristen Klein, and Melissa Boggs. And I think we're going to start with Kristen first, just giving her testimony, her story, what Plexus has done for her and her family probably too.
Yeah, I love hearing stories about how Plexus has helped people and just remembering why I started. And so I, like most people who will watch this, saw a friend post about it on Facebook or social media. Shayna posted, and we were college friends, and I was curious. I just reached out and I said, "What are you doing and how much is it?" Those are about my only two questions. I trusted her because I've known her since college. She's a nurse at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. So I knew that she wasn't going to be doing anything bad for her body. And that was about I was just curious. I was on a journey of, we were trying to build our immune system because my mom was ill with cancer at the time. And we were looking at all the different things, oils, and I was actually making my own kefir, which that is a stretch for me because it's hard enough for me to make dinner for my little family. So to be babysitting my kefir and having it multiply to get the probiotics, and plus I was the only one drinking it. I had this refrigerator full of all the stuff. And anyway, long story short, when this came along and I heard there were probiotics in a capsule, I thought, well, that sounds a lot easier. And I actually started on the ProBio5, BioCleanse, and Slim, which we know now as the triplex combo. And I was determined to prove that it was going to work or not work. I was keeping track of it like it was my job and taking it very seriously and drinking all my water and everything. And because I was thinking, if this doesn't make a change in 60 days, then I'm going to ask for my money back. So needless to say, after several days, I didn't even know that I was going to feel a difference in my digestion. I hadn't even gone over with Shayna that I suffered from digestive issues and not being regular and stuff. So that cleared up pretty quickly. And that's kind of the only result I needed. I was interested in losing weight. I took pictures, before and after pictures, and it's a good thing because in the first 30 days, I only lost 1 pound. But if you look at my day 1 to day 29 or 28, it looked like I had lost 10 pounds because the inflammation was down and I was not bloated anymore. And I was feeling really great. I mean, just being regular changed my life. So after that, my husband wanted to try it, and we didn't know that it would help him sleep through the night. He was a teacher at the time, and he would wake up literally in the morning to get ready to go to school and say, I woke up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And I was over there sleeping like a log, like I always did. So he started taking it. And within the first week, I noticed I'd wake up to go to the restroom or whatever, and he wouldn't wake up. I could tell he was sleeping deeper just by hearing him breathe. And then he would comment on it, how he didn't wake up. So that was life-changing. He also had digestive issues, the opposite of mine, where his stomach was sensitive to everything, and it cleared that up. And we've been on the products for almost 7 years now, and he doesn't have issues anymore. So both life-changing, opposite issues. And then our youngest son was in 5th grade at the time, and we had been to the dermatologist several times for bumps on his elbow that was psoriasis, and for 2 years we were off and on addressing it with topical steroids, which I'm not against medicine, but if we can deal with it with something else, then I'd rather. But I didn't know any better, so we were trying to deal with it. It didn't go away. And I read some stories about psoriasis or skin issues going away on the ProBio5. So at the time, he couldn't take he couldn't swallow capsules. So I just broke it open in a spoonful of applesauce or pudding and just made him take that. In 2 weeks, the bumps were gone. So that was another victory. My dad was real supportive. And when I came to him, when I told him what I was doing, he was very interested in trying it. So he had digestive issues that it cleared up. Even bigger win, he had acid reflux clear up, and he read some stories about that and was able to come off of acid reflux meds. So that was huge. Let's see, what else? My husband doesn't suffer from seasonal allergies anymore because of dealing with the clearing up candida, which we didn't know that, we had to address that. So between blood sugar, inflammation, and gut health, it's really changed our lives. I stiff-armed the business at first because I didn't want to, I don't know, I wasn't really interested in going down that path, but I couldn't help but share what was happening and the wins in our family. And then people just started jumping on board and wanting to try it. So that's how we got started. And that's why we're still going. And the products have changed our lives, and the surprise business has become a huge blessing to us too. So that's my story.
Thank you, Kristen. And welcome, Elizabeth. We got you figured out there. Okay, Catherine, you're next with ProBio5. We're just going to cover 2 products a night and then questions and answers if we have time.
Yes. Okay. ProBio5. I hope I do this justice because, in all honesty, I think this is my favorite product. Looking at the extensive product line we now have, it was one of the first 3 products that I took when I first started 7 years ago, and I think this is the product. I'm almost certain this is the product that changed everything for me. I love Slim and I love BioCleanse. BioCleanse goes so well with this, but I think this was the godsend that I needed. So a little bit about it. I hope I do it justice, like I said. So it's got probiotics in it. It's got 2 billion CFU probiotics. We also have another probiotic that's mainly just probiotics. But the biggest thing about this one is the digestive enzymes. That's what makes me the most excited about it. So I'll try to say some of these names. I'm not scientific, but we'll just try it out. So some of the enzymes that are in it is protease, which helps alleviate digestive problems and helps with pain. We have cellulase, which it breaks down fiber from plants, which so it helps fruits and vegetables release antioxidants, which I didn't know. Some of the stuff I'm learning as I go.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy if you really look at each ingredient, what it can do. And then serapeptase, I think, is the most exciting one. Well, there's one other I like, but this one's really cool. It's derived, I thought this was so interesting, derived from Serratia E15. Don't know what that is, but I do know what it is. It's an intestinal bacteria a silkworm uses to dissolve its cocoon once it transforms into a moth. Have y'all ever read that before?
Vaguely sounds familiar, but yeah.
It's gross, isn't it? But it's really good for you. And it has I'm looking at notes just so I don't mess up. So it's believed to have an anti-inflammatory. It reduces pain and swelling, mostly of the upper respiratory tract. It's known to dissolve blood clots, alleviate symptoms of arthritis, prevent the hardening of the arteries, treat diabetes, asthma, irritable bowel, leg ulcers, and fibrotic breast tissue. How do you say that word? Leslie, you're my science girl. Fibristic, like tissue, you know what I mean?
Fibrocystic, yeah.
Thank you. So I thought that was interesting to know, especially in this time of upper respiratory issues. So that's a big enzyme that we want. Right. And then the chitosanase is the biggest thing I love about this, because It is an enzyme that can actually break down yeast walls. And in our bodies, when you have that candida overgrowth in your bodies, which happens all the time, and most people have an overgrowth because it loves sugar, it loves carbs, and that's in the American's diet too much, right?
Yeah.
So the chitosanase can actually break down that wall of the yeast, and so you can flush it out with the BioCleanse. So that is a huge one, because candida yeast is what causes so many issues that we deal with. And the ProBio5 is great for our digestive health. It keeps that yeast balanced in our gut. We need a little bit, but we don't need the overgrowth. I really think this is the product that helped me with ulcerative colitis. And that's what I was suffering with. I was having flare-ups, and I haven't had a flare-up since being on these products. And this one's been with me since the beginning. So I'm trying to see if I've missed. Oh, I've got to talk about grapeseed extract is also in this product. Hey, Allison. Grapeseed extract has so many good benefits. It helps reduce blood pressure, improve blood flow. It inhibits infections, like growth infections. It may reduce cancer risks, protects your liver, reduces your LDL, your bad cholesterol, which I had no idea that starting these products would help with my cholesterol. I actually had high cholesterol. Every time I would get my blood drawn, it would be way too high. My triglycerides and the LDL, the bad cholesterol, was always in the high range. I never went on medication for it, but after I started the products and then went and got my blood tested again, it was all in the normal range. So I'm wondering if it had to do with the ProBio5. Probably did. It may improve your collagen levels and your bone strength, supports your brain health and kidney function, and it enhances wound healing. So grapeseed extract is an amazing ingredient in this product. It also has vitamin C and vitamin C and vitamin B. So those are some of the key points I love about ProBio5. Anybody else want to add anything, Leslie or Kristen or even Melissa?
I'll add one little thing, because I've been doing research for a friend of mine with cancer, and probiotics have been linked to helping people with cancer through their treatments, meaning it helps their symptoms not be as bad, but it also drives the chemicals from the chemo or radiation into more of where they're supposed to go.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And breast cancer has been directly tied to poor gut health.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, and the good thing too is with the capsules, you're able, you have some probiotics and things like that where it has to be refrigerated or something, but our capsule allows it to get down to where it needs to be in your intestine. So so it's released where it needs to be.
Right.
So that's an amazing thing about it too.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Hydrate. And Hydrate is one of our newest products. It was just released this June. So who struggles to stay hydrated? That's so just, yeah. And we're not alone, because 75% of Americans are dehydrated, and they live that way. So who are the ones that really struggle the most? Older people, people with diabetes, and children. So they have the biggest problems when they get dehydrated, especially if they're diabetic. That can be a really bad problem, because their blood sugar can really, if they're dehydrated, their blood sugar can drop even faster. Okay, so why is hydration important? Hydration is linked to mental clarity. It's linked to weight loss. You can't lose weight if you don't have enough water in your body. It's linked to your heart and your brain health, sleep, and even depression and anxiety are affected if you're not getting enough water. which I didn't know that they were linked. So basically everything is linked to your hydration. More importantly, I'm just going to read this. There was a report done in 2011 by the Journal of Nutrition that said that many Americans are deficient in key nutrients. I think most of us who take vitamins kind of figure that out. The reason for this, there's two reasons. The reasons for this stems back to how many toxins we encounter on a daily basis. Our bodies actually need more nutrients to handle and combat those toxins. And honestly, the nutrients in today's food are not up to the challenge. So our food is a little depleted from the soils not being as healthy as they used to be, say in our grandparents' age, but also we have more environmental toxins that the nutrients are being used to fight against. So we need more nutrients than perhaps our grandparents did because of the toxins, which that's all brand new information to me. Even today's water is depleted of minerals that our body needs. I did not know that either. In 2005, a report by the WHO shows that over-filtering water has led to the majority of the mineral magnesium being removed from our water, which is another reason why so many of us are magnesium deficient. So a lot of people have a hard time digesting food and don't retain the nutrients with the food. So that's kind of like snowball effect there of that. And some scientists believe this is because people are on more medications than ever before, and that impacts our absorption. Okay, so why are people so dehydrated? For some, they just don't like the taste of water. Others, they get busy and forget. And some don't know how important it is. So what does Hydrate do? So Hydrate is the drink. It's an electrolyte drink that helps lubricate the joints. It supports the immune system and it replenishes your body fluids. Overall, hydration helps with your heartbeat, being regular, muscles and nerves contracting when they're under stress, and cellular metabolism. It also helps with performance, like if you're out running or exercising, helps balance your fluids and electrolytes in your body, and it helps with your well-being, overall well-being, meaning you look and you feel better. And I did not know this until I read the info sheet today. It's best when it's used 3 times a day. So I found that surprising. Okay, so what are some of the ingredients? So Hydrate has more vitamin C than 2 whole oranges. It has aloe vera extract, which is a really, really good thing if you have any stomach problems because it kind of coats that lining, helps with gut health, and it kind of multiplies the effectiveness of all the other nutrients that you're taking in. It has blueberry acai. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure. It has watermelon, coconut water, and it's got it has more potassium in it than bananas do. So, good little thing to know. Okay, so it also has zinc in it, and zinc is a trace mineral. I think we're hearing a lot about zinc these days. The kind of zinc that that Hydrate has is called zinc citrate, and it contributes to mental and physical well-being. But this kind is the purest and most absorbable. And it has magnesium in it that helps with the nervous system, the blood sugar, bones, and digestive tract. And it has sodium in it because salt helps you lose weight, which most people didn't know. I didn't know that, but it does help lose weight because it's part of balancing your whole body. It can help with gaining weight because, again, body balance is important to that whole finding your right healthy weight. Let's see. Moving on to potassium. Potassium is in it, and it's a powerful mineral. And again, potassium is important for weight management and loss. It helps you keep from being bloated. It helps you fight that puffy feeling. And it's very important in muscle contraction. And calcium. So calcium is also important for weight loss. And here's why. It calms your nerves and helps you fight fat. Most people know that if you're under stress, you're sending out a ton of cortisol. Cortisol goes to gaining weight in the middle, and your body just hangs on to it because it thinks it's going to die, even though it's not. It just thinks it's going to, and that's why it holds on to the fat. Let's see. Calcium also helps in bone maintenance in the body and establishing a healthy metabolism. So I'm going to what it does not have. Hydrate does not have artificial colors. It has no sugar in it. It has no dyes in it and no artificial ingredients. So, kind of going back to who's going to be using this product, 75% of America, because we're all dehydrated.
And my kids love it.
Yeah. Okay, so any questions, and we'll have some answers maybe. We'll just open it up. It doesn't have to be on these two products. It can be on other things, but we just want to make ourselves available to answer anything.
Allison asked, what age is older in regards to hydration? Is that what you asked, Allison? Yeah, okay.
What age is older?
What is, you mean like why is it that the older?
Okay, so Leslie, you had said that Hydrate is best or most needed by diabetics, older people, and kids. So I was just wondering what's considered older. You know, is it like 70 plus, if there's an age to that? Just because I was curious if somebody asked me.
Yes, that's true.
I would say it's good for everybody over the age of 4. That's what's in the flyer. And when I hear that, the way I translate it is one recommended serving is good for 4 and up, where I would also think that if you gave a half a serving to someone younger, that would be okay too. So like a 2 and 3-year-old could have like a half of a serving.
I think she was wondering like maybe like why the older people, like where does that start? Why older people and younger kids are more dehydrated. Is that what you meant, Alice? Okay.
I think just because their body processes are not working as well.
Yeah. So like older, you would think like what age? You think like probably starting it.
I would say
Careful.
I would say that older. Yeah, hey, I'm right there with you, girl.
No.
I would
Hey,
say
I need it, and I'm 40, so I'm ready. I'm like, I need this product.
I would say that it really older kind of classifies as in health. It could be, I would look at it as postmenopausal because your body has a lot more changes. I didn't think it did, but when I got over 60, I could tell a big difference. So that's where I would say if you're thinking older, who are the people that would be older? I might not say that to their face. I mean, I wouldn't want anybody to say that to me. I would be sad. I wouldn't be sad to their face, but I'm gonna go home and cry.
And Leslie, you know what? Some people go through menopause. I mean, people go through menopause at different times for sure. And some people go through it every once in a while quite young, unfortunately.
Right.
I think
So-
also you talk about older in health, maybe having cared for my mother-in-law and my husband's aunt when they were fighting cancer or whatever. I see, and seeing my dad as well, my dad kept water sitting beside of him all day long. So in his mind, he's drinking water all day long. But truthfully, when he drank it, he would just take a sip or two, and it might sit there for 30 or 40 minutes, and then he'd take another sip or two. And I found that to be true with my mother-in-law and his aunt too. They thought they were drinking a lot because it was always right there with them. But yet when they truly did drink, I mean, they may not drink that whole cup all day long.
Mhm.
Right. And I had that same experience with my mom because I cared for her until she passed, but she was a nurse, so she knew she was supposed to drink water. So we had a milk jug that had a line on it, and she tried to drink that whole thing every day. She just kept it next to her chair and kept pouring it all day. So she knew how much she was drinking up until like the last 6 months or so. But yeah, that happens a lot. And I have my mug here and it sits next to me, but if I'm really involved in something, it just sits next to me. It doesn't come anywhere near my mouth.
Guilty.
Any other questions? Good question, Allison. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Kristen, you have anything you want to add?
I don't think so. Thanks for sharing about Hydrate and ProBio5. I always love hearing people talk about it, like processing that way.
I mean, you can learn it, but as you learn new things, sometimes the trash can in my brain empties out the old information, and I don't retain all of it. I don't retain it all. So this is good for me to constantly be in reviewing.
Yeah, and it makes it just solidifies why I love it. When you hear even some of that new info, like why you love taking those products and what they've meant to me.
Yeah.
And just one thing, all of our products are meant to be married to each other. So I can add my Hydrate to my Slim, and I think it tastes like cotton candy. Some people say double bubble gum. So, but I think it tastes
Just dump them all together like I do, like
I
all
know.
the powders.
I haven't gotten that break yet.
I figure it doesn't matter. It's all like just a gigantic fruit bomb. Everything I mix, it's like whatever I grab. And,
Yes.
and you best be happy with it.
That's right. Oh.
Okay, well, ladies, it's good seeing you. I don't want to take up more time than we've promised. We're trying to keep this right at 30 minutes. So you know where we are on Messenger if you have any questions.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye, Elizabeth. Glad you got on.
Good to see
Bye.
y'all.
Ladies, bye.
Bye.
Bye.